Great. So for those of you that are here for the first time, don't know how Sahaja Online works, just some quick housekeeping. All of our phone lines are muted. We'll be using the Q&A function, or the chat function, I should say, for any questions that you may have. So feel free to enter your questions or comments in the chat function. And towards the end, we'll take more of the questions. And we'll be running the session for 60 minutes. So before we get started, just would like to know what brings us here, and then we'll get into some introductions about the meditation if anyone is here for the first time. And then our focus really will be about how to establish yourself in meditation, because that's really important. It's easy to get into meditation, but how do you maintain it for a longer time or even throughout the day? And then Q&A at the end. So if you could use the chat function now and tell me about what brings you here. If this is your first time, please mention that. And just how you heard about Sahaja Online. While you're doing that, just wanted to mention I was away for 2 weeks on a road trip. We rented an RV for 2 weeks, our first time renting an RV and our first time on a cross-country road trip. We went from Florida, where I live, to Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. It was a beautiful experience. Highly recommended during this COVID time. We chose it because it's a great way to see the country while still being isolated and self-contained in the RV. So just sharing that piece of info with you while we wait for your comments to come in the chat. Welcome Emily, welcome Todd. And welcome, I don't know your actual name through the ID, but it looks like Letmin. So great. Are any of you here for the first time? That would be important for me to know. And have you joined us before for any sessions? Chat with me before we start. That way I can make it more personable to you. So like I said, I am in Florida. Would love to hear where you're from. It's hot and humid where we are right now. Welcome, Nancy. Okay, great, Todd. You're here for the first time. Wonderful. You're living in Jacksonville. Excellent. I'm sure it's much cooler, a bit cooler up there and less humid. Great. Good evening, Nancy. Anyone else here for the first time? If not, that is just fine. Welcome back to those of you that have been coming, meditating with us. Great. So I will go over some of the basics for Todd or anyone else that is here for the first time. So this meditation is called Sahaja meditation, and our platform is called Sahaja Online. This is where we bring you the experience of meditation through various instructors, coaches on both live and recorded sessions. And all of our classes are really geared towards beginners of various levels. Although we also have private intermediate classes and advanced classes as you go along. You can always contact us on the website and indicate your interest in those. So about this slide that you see here, this lady that you see on the left, her name is Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi, and she founded this technique known as Sahaj Yoga meditation back in 1970. And now this form of meditation is being practiced in almost all 50 states in the US and in over 100 countries around the world. And it's always offered free of charge. And the reason it's offered free is because this exercise or this meditation has to do with a living energy that is already there within you. You're born with this energy. And on this chart, you'll see where my mouse is pointing to this triangular shaped bone that's at the base of our spine. This is known as our sacrum bone. Sacrum comes from the word sacred, and in the ancient times, the Greeks, they coined this word because sacrum because they understood it to be sacred. They used to do what is known as when a body passed away, they would burn the body and all parts of the body would disintegrate except for this bone. This bone would remain intact. So they came to know that there is something sacred within this bone, also known as the sacrum bone. Within this bone, there lies this living energy that you see here coiled. In the Indian culture, it's called as Kundalini, but in various cultures, they have their own names for it, of course. Basically, as a human being, we are all born with this energy. And this energy, what it provides us with is an understanding of ourselves in a deeper way. We understand that we are not only just this body, this mind, and these emotions, but we really are something much higher, much more subtle, much more pure. So that realization takes place when this energy is awakened. And that's what we're going to do here today. Whether this is your first time or you've been coming back with us, what we do in the process of meditation is we awaken this energy so that it can rise through all of these 7 main energy centers you see here. And once it reaches the top of our head where the 7th main energy center is, this main energy brings us into meditation very spontaneously and easily. And that's actually what the word Sahaja means. It's a Sanskrit word which means spontaneous and born with you. So that's how easy this process is. Now, the next question, which is important, is how do we actually awaken this energy? If it's so simple, what do we do? What Sri Mataji discovered is the technique goes like this. All that a person needs to do in order to awaken this energy and understand who they truly are inside is just to express their pure desire from their heart, that they want to experience that state. And as long as they express that desire from their heart, that's what sends the signal to this living energy that, oh, Todd is asking for me. Oh, Emily's asking for me. Okay, I'm going to rise and put that person into the state of meditation, which is that connection with yourself, also known as yoga. Yoga actually means union with something higher. So that's why this meditation originally is called Sahaja Yoga meditation. So I'm going to guide you through that experience where you're going to ask from your heart, ask this energy to provide you with that experience. And then you're going to see, you're going to actually understand that something did actually take place because there won't be any thoughts. That's what meditation is. It's a state when you have no thoughts. You're not thinking about the past, which we always think about, and you're not thinking about the future, which we also always think about. When you're in meditation, you actually come into the present moment. That's really reality. The past is not real. It's gone. The future hasn't started. That's also not real. What really is where we want to be is the present. And how to get there is by tapping into this energy. So I'll take a pause there and take any questions, comments you may have before we move on. Again, you can use the chat function to interact with me. Would love to hear from you. Welcome to the rest of you that just joined. Great. No questions, comments, perfect. So that's the main gist of the meditation. The rest of these interesting things that you see on this slide here, these words are basically the pure qualities that we have within ourselves. They correlate to each of the energy centers. And we always have these beautiful qualities within us all the time. Though we may not always feel like we have them, but they never go away. It's just like the analogy of the cloud covering the sun. The sun is always there, but because the cloud is there, it may not shine as much. So with regular meditation, we can move those clouds away and allow the sun to shine more regularly. And that's really the purpose of meditation, especially during this day and age with our current pandemic. It's so incredibly useful to learn how to meditate. First of all, it's free. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. It helps you to balance yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. What else do we really need, isn't it? So now we'll get into the actual experience. So to do that, I'd like for you to sit comfortably wherever you are, on a chair, preferably seated and not lying down, and keeping your feet flat on the Mother Earth. If you're wearing any shoes, if you would like to take them off, that would enhance the experience because your feet would then be flat on the Mother Earth, which is a beautiful natural element which helps to absorb any imbalances that our subtle system has. So if you could take your shoes off, that would be great. And then we'll just keep our hands open on our lap with our palms upward. I'm going to first show you what we're going to do with our eyes open, and then we'll close our eyes and do the meditation. So these little pictures that you see on the bottom is the exercise we're going to perform. This exercise is called as awakening the energy, also known as getting our self-realization. It's called self-realization because we're talking about our inner self, realizing that we are our true self inside. So that process is called as self-realization. And the way it works is like this. We're going to first take our right hand, place it on our heart on the left-hand side. Everything is taking place on the left-hand side. So right now we're practicing. So take a moment and place your right hand on your heart. And as we have our hand on these different energy centers, we're also going to ask for certain qualities or state certain affirmations within ourselves. Just giving you a heads up. Next, we're going to take our hand down to where our rib cage is in that second picture that you see right here. Go ahead and put your hand there. Then we go to the third picture with our hand down even further where our hip and abdomen meet. And then what isn't shown in the picture, we're just going to go back up those three energy centers. So back up to the rib cage, back up to the heart, and then we're going to go to the fourth picture right here, which is by the neck and shoulder area, and we're going to turn our head to the right. Then we're going to do the next picture's example with our right hand across our forehead like this, our head bending forward, and our forehead resting comfortably in the palm of our hand. Then the next picture shows the right hand at the back of the head, just like this. Lean your head back so that your head is resting in the palm of your hand. And the last picture is shown this way with our palm placed on our scalp, pressing down a little bit while pointing our fingers towards the ceiling, the way I'm showing you here. And then we're going to rotate our scalp clockwise, approximately 7 times, because we have 7 main energy centers, but don't worry too much about counting. It's an approximation. And you see how I'm actually moving the skin on my head. I'm softening that spot. That's the purpose of doing this, is to soften this area, which used to be soft when we were babies, but has hardened as we've grown older. So by softening it, we just allow this energy to pass through a little more easily. Okay? Any questions before we start? All right, let's get started. So let's sit comfortably with our eyes closed, our hands open on our lap, palms upward. I'll be guiding you throughout so you'll know exactly what to do. Let's take a few deep breaths through our nose to further relax ourselves. And just notice where you are right now in the sense of how are you feeling inside? Are there a lot of thoughts? Are you thinking about something in particular? No need to worry about that or even try to push it away, but just be aware that it's there. You'll find that as we continue on, our thoughts will start to subside and that silence will settle in. Right now, we're all here together because we know in some fashion that this is important for us. It's what we really need. The internal balance will then project outward, and our surroundings would be more balanced, the people around us, etc. Just like the microcosm is reflected in the macro. Before we start with our hand positions, let's take a moment and remember the most critical aspect of Sahaja meditation, which is the importance of expressing our pure desire. I'm just here as a facilitator, but each and every one of us on this webinar is responsible for the experience. And only you can desire for this, not me. So from our hearts, silently to ourselves, in whatever language comes best from our heart, take a moment and express to this living energy, which is resting at the base of your spine, and say, energy, please awaken the pure desire within me. Once again, energy, please awaken the pure desire within me. Now let's go ahead and take our right hand and place it on our heart. Here we're going to ask a very fundamental question, which is, energy, am I the pure self? Go ahead and ask that question to yourself within. Energy, am I the pure self? Now we can bring our hand down to where our rib cage is. And here we're going to ask the question, energy, am I my own master? Energy, am I my own master? Now let's bring our hand down further where our hip and abdomen meet. And here we're going to ask for the quality of pure knowledge. Energy, please awaken the pure knowledge within me. Pure knowledge is essentially the knowledge of ourselves, which allows us to understand that we're more than just this body, mind, and emotions. In order to have that quality awakened and understanding awakened within us, in this form of meditation, we have to ask for it. So give that a try by saying again, energy, please awaken the pure knowledge within me. And just see how you feel inside after you say this. Again, remember that we're working with a living energy, and just like anything living, it responds to us. So just see if you're getting any response. That response would come in the form of silence and peace and joy. Now we can bring our hand back up to our rib cage. And now we can say with confidence that energy, I am my own master. Nothing and no one can dominate us. Energy, I am my own master. Now let's bring our hand up to our heart. And here we say with confidence that energy, I am the pure self. And now let's take our right hand and place it on our neck and shoulder area and turn our head to the right. And here, in order for this energy center to open up, it's important for us to not feel guilty about anything. It's a really beautiful feeling to not feel guilty. And you can do it just by agreeing to it, sincerely meaning it from your heart. Give it a try and say to this energy, energy, I am not guilty for anything. Now let's take our right hand and place it on our forehead. And here, it's very important for us to forgive everyone in general from our hearts, without thinking about any particular person or what they may have done. Really doesn't matter. And I tell you, it's much easier to forgive than not to forgive. It's just a decision you make right now in order to experience this beautiful state of meditation that we're all here to experience. It's in our interest to forgive. So please say from your heart to this energy, I forgive everyone from my heart. Energy, I forgive. Now for the last energy center, please take your right hand, place your palm on your scalp, press down a little bit while pointing your fingers towards the ceiling. And now, as we rotate our scalp clockwise, about 7 times, each time we rotate our scalp, we're going to ask this energy to grant us the experience known as self-realization, just by saying, energy, please grant me my self-realization. When you're ready, you can bring your hand back down. And keep your attention or your awareness at the top of your head where you just had your hand. By keeping it there, which is the 7th energy center, it actually helps to maintain that connection inside. Because now this inner energy is carrying your attention to that spot, which is beyond your mind. This is where that yoga, that union takes place with yourself. And just enjoy the experience of being with your true self inside. And just see how you feel right now. Are there any thoughts? Chances are it's much more silent than when you first started. This is the state known as thoughtless awareness, where you do not have any thoughts, you're thoughtless, but you're also completely aware of your surroundings. You can hear me talking, etc. So this is the beginning of meditation, which takes away all of the extraneous thoughts, which are almost 98-99% of our thinking is really unnecessary, coming from the past and the future only. But now we're all introduced to this new realm reality, really. And it's our own. We can tap into it at any time. And the more we tap into it, the more we establish ourselves in the reality. Whenever we're ready, we can open our eyes. How are you all feeling out there? Do let me know if you'd like in the chat. How was the thoughtlessness? I was just speaking to somebody on the phone the other day. They called about our regular in-person classes here in South Florida, which we don't currently have because of COVID. Everything is online. And he was a little skeptical that how would an online meditation work? How would I be able to do it? And I said, absolutely, give it a try. And, what we've found is meditating like this in a group, even though we can't see each other, the energy is real and it works. It helps each one of our energies to awaken and deepen that much more. So I take the silence as a good thing. Great. So now the other component that I just want you to check and see if you're able to experience today. Sometimes in this meditation, we're also able to feel this energy on our central nervous system. That means we can feel it on our hands and we can feel it above our head in the form of a cool or warm breeze-like sensation. So let's check it out and see if we can, because remember, as I mentioned, this is a real experience. It's not just a presentation or something you imagine, but it's a real triggering inside of you that takes place so you can feel that it's tangible. So let's close our eyes once again. And now, in order to come into meditation, it's very simple. Now we've already started the car, which means we've already awakened the energy, gotten our self-realization, and now we drive. We drive with regular meditation. Regular meditation looks like this. All we do is we just allow our attention, also known as our awareness, to gently go to the top of our head and just rest it there. If you find that's a little challenging, it's okay. Don't push it, don't force it. Remember, Sahaja is effortless. Instead, ask for it. Remember, the premise of this meditation has to do with the expression of your desire. So, once again, from our hearts, we can ask energy, please allow me to experience the state of meditation. And now, let's check above our head to see if we could feel something. Please bend your head forward a little. Raise your left hand above your head the way I'm doing, a few inches from the top, not touching it, but a few inches from the top, and you're seeing now if you can feel a very gentle, cool, or warm breeze-like sensation coming out from the top of your head onto the palm of your hand. It would feel like little waves of energy. You might feel it closer to your head or further away, so check it out. And if you don't feel anything, it's perfectly fine. Just an experiment. Let's lower the left and try with the right hand now. Sometimes we're more sensitive on the opposite side. So if you feel something, what you're feeling is this energy that's manifesting on your central nervous system. So this gives you proof that there is in fact something that got triggered within me and I can feel it. It's a real experience. Let's lower our right hand and try one more time with the left. And bring that hand down. Just for a few more moments, continue to sit in this silence. Whenever we're ready, we can open our eyes again. How are you all feeling out there? If you have any questions or comments, feel free to use the chat. We'd love to know how your experience is going. Okay. So as the topic for today is how to establish the state of meditation, I wanted to talk a little bit to that point. So the best way to establish the state of meditation is, you might find it obvious, but to meditate regularly. Because just like anything else, the more you do something consistently, the more automatic that process becomes. So right now, it's very natural for us to resort to thinking because we've been practicing it all of our lives. And the world encourages us to think. But now you're really shifting to this other paradigm where the less you do, the more happens. It's not your effort that counts. This is probably the only place where your effort is not going to lead you to success. The more you let go of your own efforts, that will allow this energy to put in her effort. I say her because it's a nurturing energy. So the best way to establish that state is to meditate regularly. We encourage everyone to meditate daily, twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. We'll do a few more rounds after this, of course, but just wanted to mention. And in the morning, just about 5-10 minutes, doesn't have to be long, but something has to take place. That state of meditation has to take place. And then in the evening, about 10-15 minutes, right before you sleep, and you'll find that you'll sleep really well, etc. Your next day morning's meditation becomes easier. And then from there, what happens is that the more regularly you start meditating at these designated times, morning and evening, you'll find that you're going to be more prepared to jump into that silence even throughout the day. And isn't that what we want to do, really, right? This meditation is not just for Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and then we're done with it. But the point is to integrate this new state into our day-to-day life. And you'll find so much beauty coming about when you do that. So many things. Of course, minimum of minimum benefit is stress reduction. That is sort of a given. But apart from that, your relationships with people improve. Any place in your life where you're out of balance starts to slowly come into balance. If you tend to be more lethargic, you'll be more active. If you're overactive, you'll calm down. so many things, even physically. I've seen people that have hypertension, high cholesterol, asthma, a lot of insomnia, migraines. All of these are basically imbalances. So this main energy, our inner energy, its essence is purity, balance, nourishment. And by allowing it to rise, it knows where to go. It knows which energy centers are out of balance. And it does the only thing it knows, which is to balance them and to nourish them. So that's the added bonus. And all we have to do really is just our daily meditation, which isn't asking a lot. So we're a quiet bunch today, which is fine. We'll do another round now as well, just to show you how easy it is to come into meditation. So let's again sit comfortably, feet flat on the Mother Earth, close our eyes, hands open on our lap, palms upward. And really take a moment and feel how your feet are actually touching the Mother Earth and not just the tiles or the carpet or the ground. Your feet are touching Mother Earth. Mother Earth is there to absorb all of our imbalances, how generous she is, how forbearing she is. We touch her every day with our feet. Still, she gives us so many rewards. Just by acknowledging that alone can even change and deepen our experience. The next thing I want you to notice is how you have your hands open. Remember, this is a living experience, a living energy, and your whole body posture also contributes to the overall mood and state. So sometimes what I do is I close my hands, I make fists, and then I reopen them with more of a feeling of love behind my hands. Your hands are basically open there to receive the love of this energy. So how would you have them open to receive that? That's what you have to do. And then even how we're sitting, we don't have to be too straight or too slouched, somewhere in between, comfortably, alert. And what I encourage you to do is just to even bend your head forward a little bit, because what I find is by bending my head forward, it helps me develop a little bit more humility. And humility is really, really important for meditation, because it demonstrates your understanding that you are not the doer in this, you are not the one in control. There is a power greater than your own efforts that is providing you with this connection. So with that feeling, we have our head bent forward. And also I like bending my head forward because it brings my head closer to my heart. So now that we've established our body position, which should demonstrate our eagerness for this experience, now let's draw our attention inside even more. Just allow it to go there. Don't force it, don't push it. Don't even worry if there are thoughts popping up here and there. It's perfectly normal. And just allow your attention to go comfortably to the top of the head. Again, if it's not going there, remember what I said. You ask for it, desire for it. Ask this energy, because only this energy can provide you with that. You can again say, energy, Please grant me the state of meditation again. And just enjoy. Anytime you find that you have or you're putting forth effort, just step back, let go. We'll put on a little music and we can continue to enjoy this state of silence. Let's continue to remain in this state and just be alert as to where our attention is. And not to mistake having our eyes closed for being meditation. Meditation is a state. It's not an activity. It's a state of being. And sometimes we just have to watch and see where our attention is. And now we're in a better position to do that because through this experience, we actually become a witness. So let's try that as an exercise and just see. You can even ask yourself the question, where is my attention right now? And notice how, if you do have some thoughts, how you can see them or watch them, just like you're watching a movie. You're separated from them. You are not that thought. That thought doesn't identify you. And just by being able to watch that thought, it can pass on, just like the scenes in a movie, just passing one after the other. Let's also take our right hand and place it on our heart in the center this time. Again, bending our head forward, closer towards our heart. Let's give thanks to this energy. I always love to give thanks to this energy because it really allows that experience to stay with me a little longer. And I never want to take this experience for granted, what I've been given. Imagine how now those of us that are here trying this for the first time perhaps are now discovering that the peace is actually there within me all the time. It's not found outside, it's found inside. What a blessing and a treasure that is. So from our hearts silently to ourselves, in whatever language comes best from our heart, let's express our thanks and say, energy, thank you from the bottom of my heart for considering me to be worthy of your love. Put your hand down. Whenever we're ready, we can open our eyes again. I hope everybody enjoyed. And before we go to any questions, I'd like to show you our website of Sahaja Online for those who may not have seen it before. So this website, I highly encourage you to log in and or sign up if you haven't already. This will allow us to keep in contact with you. It will allow us to send you our newsletter if you're interested. And we have various topics of interest here. So much, as you can see, on science and health, character and personality, different articles you can share with people. And of course, our video library, which shows a wealth of resources for you that you can watch for free. Everything here is for free for you. And so I encourage you to explore this site and even introduce it to friends and family, co-workers. We have a big section on how this meditation helps us in our career and professional life, how we deal with occupational stress, etc., which is a big topic right now. So just wanted to share that with you. And yeah, let's go ahead. If anybody has any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll take a few as we wrap up here. But I hope everybody had a wonderful time, and do keep meditating. Do keep coming back to any of the sessions that are convenient for you. I do the Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We have different instructors on different days and times. You're welcome to come to multiple, etc. Again, all free for you. And just imagine this experience that you had today. Don't you want to share it with everyone? I certainly do. So think of somebody that you know who could really benefit from this experience, and have them join us, RSVP for your next available session on sahajaonline.com. And I will hang out with you for a few more minutes. I'll play a little music. If anybody wants to continue sitting in meditation, feel free. If anyone has questions or comments, I will be available on the chat. But see you next time on Sahaja Online. Everybody have a great night. Take care.